What has been a lesson you wish you learned earlier in life?
I think being unapologetically honest with what you want. And that goes across the board. I was trying to think of something that kind of across the board. If you can communicate your truth and not worry so much about how somebody's going to react to what you say. Because a lot of times the fear of how somebody's going to react to what you really want to say is what stops you from saying it sometimes, and you find another way, or you put it off, or you don't say it, and maybe the situation doesn't change, and you get frustrated and upset with why this thing doesn't change because you kind of maybe might not have said it the way you wanted to say it, and I think there's a way to be unapologetically and still be respectful and speak your truth. If I think I would have done that earlier,
Well said, yeah.
I would have been further along in relationships that I have with people I care about, and not intimately. I mean across the board, work relationships, business, family, female friends, whatever it may have been. I think being honest with where you stand and how you feel, it's really giving another person an option and opportunity to be as honest with you. And whatever your fear of that is, of that outcome, is never really as big as what you make it up to be. It's really not that. So I would say maybe just being honest and living with the results. And tomorrow is not promised to anyone, but time will move on. You will move past it. And if tomorrow never come, at least you can know that you said what you needed to say.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that I feel like earlier on, if I had that, it might have been better.
Yeah, that's a thoughtful answer. I was thinking when you were saying that, it's like we're so scared of our honesty hurting someone, not realizing that us holding back our honesty is hurting them even more and longer term.
It is.
It's a hard one, because when you have to be honest, it makes you look worse, it makes you feel bad, it makes that person feel bad. It gets messy on so many levels.
But what if that person needed to hear it?
Yeah.
What if that person never heard that note or that thought or perspective, and then they go on in life, continuing to, move and act and speak in a way without that, you're doing almost a disservice. It goes back to like knowing, if you know better, you got to do better, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think that kind of maybe speaks to like a bigger thing with me of like wanting to just be better and wanting people around me to be better and grow, because I guess going back to, just the other misconceptions, like, thing of people look at me and think I got everything. I got it all. It's not true, man. Like, I'm flawed, and I'm actively trying to get better daily, and I fail all the time. And I come up short all the time on even how to communicate, no matter how much coaching I go through and, and practice and running conversations through my head, in the shower, and like, all right, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, I wanna hit that point, and, okay, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm just I'm trying to do my best.
Who is my man? Who is Wooderson? What do I love? What do I love? What I love? As this mic's getting put on me, I'm like, I love my car. I said, bam, I'm in my 70 Chevelle right now. There's one thing I got going for me. I said, I love rock and roll, man. I said, shit, man, I got Ted Nugent Stranglehold rocking in the 8-track. There's 2. I said, I love getting high. I said, well, man, Slater's riding shotgun. He's always got a doobie rolled up. There's 3. And that's when I heard action. Give me 30 minutes. I took a walk. Now I'm about to be in my first scene. There's nothing written. I've not done this before, but I'm going over scenarios. Where are we? Last day of school. I got some change in my pocket. I'm working for the city. Sure, next one we're going to go out. I'd probably speak a little Spanish. Next thing I know, I'm in the car getting a lavalier mic put on me.